Hello guys, welcome to Unisys weekly fundamental analysis. First of all, we'll look into the dollar. In the first week of 2021, the US dollar index rebounded from a low of 89.21 in the past 3 years and finally closed up 0.14% to 90.06. The yield on the 10-year US Treasury rose sharply, rising above 1% for the first time since March last year, driving the US index to rebound. The US dollar's strong bearish expectations have eased. However, the Democratic Party won the final election in Georgia. Congress confirmed that Biden won the 2020 presidential election, and the number of the non-agricultural employment in the US unexpectedly decreased in December, and the number of long-term unemployment remained high, not reversed. The unprecedented violent demonstrations in Washington stunned the world, but for the market and the dollar after the incident settled, the influence of the Democratic blue wave will become the main axis of the market in 2021. Right. Furthermore, Biden also said that the size of his government's economic plan will reach trillions of dollars, including unemployment, insurance, and rent allowance. It is. He also said that it is necessary to spend this money now. The answer is yes. The scale will be trillions of dollars, which is the plan. Next, we'll look into the pound. At the beginning of the 2021, the pound to the US dollar hit a new high of 1.3704 since May 2018, but ended down 0.81% to 1.3563, reversing some of the gains recorded after the Brexit trade agreement was reached as the UK tightened the anti-epidemic measures. Traders once again focus on the impact of epidemic crisis. The market expects that the Bank of England will introduce a negative interest rate policy at an earlier point in time. So the British economy is also beginning to feel the impact of Brexit. Industry groups says that more than 50 British retailers, including Tesco and Marks and Spencers, are facing potential tariffs on re-exporting goods to the euro, which they warn may reduce the British competition force. Next, we'll look into the euro. The European Central Bank stated in its regular economy bulletin on Thursday that all economic indicators in the eurozone indicate economic contraction in the fourth quarter of 2020. High frequency indicators and the latest survey results are consistent with the economy in the fourth quarter of 2020. It will shrink. The survey shows that the service industry will be affected by another economic contraction. The Eurobank also said that the vaccination has strengthened the expectation for a rapid economic recovery, but it will take time to achieve widespread immunization and economic recovery. And furthermore, we're looking to the JPY, which is the safe haven yen. So the Japanese government proposed on Thursday as well to declare a 1 month state of emergency limited to Tokyo and three nearby prefectures, effective from the 8th of January to the 7th of February. The Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga admitted on Friday that with the increase in the number of infections, measures that took effect in the capital region on Friday may also need to be implemented in other parts of Japan. Fearing greater economic losses, the Japanese government has so far refused to accept calls from some experts to implement wider restrictions outside the Tokyo metropolitan area. Analysts and officials warn that the limited 1 month state of emergency for Tokyo and nearby countries could cause the economy to shrink in the first quarter. Following by the AUD, the Australia has repeatedly resisted pressure to speed up the vaccine distribution schedule on the ground that the country has fewer COVID-19 cases, but the new clusters of infections in Sydney and Melbourne have raised concerns about larger outbreaks. Brisbane, Australia's third largest city, will enter a 3-day lockdown period starting on Friday night. The authorities hope to prevent the spread of the variant COVID-19 virus discovered in the UK. Brisbane residents will be strictly prohibited from going out beyond basic needs. Previously, an employee of an isolated hotel in the city was infected with the new COVID-19. David Plank, the head of the Australian Economic Department of ANZbank, said that the higher Australian dollar actually brought about the effect of policy tightening, which will help the Reserve Bank of Australia continue to implement its bond purchase plan in the coming months. Lastly, we'll talk about the NFP, which is the non-agricultural. So the non-agricultural upset in December dropped by 140,000, and the Biden government will face pressure to introduce more stimulus measures. The number of non-agricultural population in the U.S. decreased by 140,000 in December, which was significantly lower than an expected increase of 50,000, marking the sixth consecutive month decline. The unemployment rate remained at 6.7%, and the annual salary rate rose to 5.1%. The deteriorating employment situation in the US is expected to cause the Biden administration to launch more stimulus measures to save jobs and the economy. Although the US $900 billion aid bill was passed at the end of December, analysts believe that it is still possible to introduce a major fiscal stimulus package of more than $1 trillion US, which is equivalent to about 5% of the GDP in 2021. On the other hand, with the rapid increase in the number of new COVID-19 cases, the unemployment benefits of millions of families are shrinking. The impact of the vaccine may still take several months to manifest. This may make the federal feel that the economy has entered a more difficult period, and the federal has to increase its effort through asset purchases or liquidity injections to calm the tension. To ensure the smooth operations of the market. So, the analyst Chris Anstey commented on December non-agriculture. For economists who have not yet predicted the scale of the rescue plan after the Biden administration's take office, the non-agricultural employment report released this time may expand their expected scale. So, this will be the forex calendar for the following weeks. So for friends who are trading, so please set your stop loss as when there's news, the fluctuation will be high. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.